The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
EMissy Show. EMissy Show. EMissy Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio, here we go. Hey, it's EMissy K. Hey, it's EMissy K. Her beauty and passion, talk music, fashion, loose lips, red cup, love jump. She's always on Facebook, Instagram, taking calls on the telephone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EMissy K exclusive show. I'm your girl, EMissy K. Whoop. Over here, we got
Haley Bell.
Oh my! Okay.
Where's Haley B?
What the?
It was Haley B.
I'm sorry.
Host formerly known as.
Yes,
and over here, we got
Hey, Lala.
New hair.
and
Lady D's, good evening, everyone.
and we were divinely detained. So we're going to get started with the show. We have two special guests. We have Corey Saffold, and we also have Darvell Powell.
Yes.
They're going to come back, and we're going to have a special show for the men since y'all feel like we just dog y'all out. This is all about y'all, and it's a father's rights is the topic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
Yes,
well needed.
we're going to talk about how some of these women be dragging our men through court. And how these court systems just tear us down.
Yeah,
But we're going to get to
Crazy.
that later on in the show with myself and Haley B.
that's gonna be nice. Good little.
But right
topic.
now-
we're gonna jump into Lala. What's on everyone's lips?
No, whoa, wait. We're going to jump into your topic. Hold up. I'm jumping into your topic.
I
Okay.
like how she finished the whole sentence.
Jumping in Lala. Okay, so we're talking about. We got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Okay, go.
We're talking about who?
She said you got 5 minutes. Hurry up.
5 minutes. We're talking about Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's daughter, stepdaughter, who was linked to like 7 or 10 men. I'm just exaggerating, but a lot of stars that are out there. Because my topic is a little bit short, one of the questions was we wanted to know, why is it okay for men to jump from relation to relationship if they're not feeling that it's okay? But then when it's Lori, she's 22. P. is 49. That's a huge ass gap. He shouldn't be messing with that little girl. First of all, she was linked to his son. That was another question. Should he be dating this girl if she was dating his son? But then they say, no, that's not true. She wasn't.
Yeah, they said that
But
was a rumor.
Exactly. It was a rumor. But she's been linked to so many different men at a young age. And they're calling her loose or she messy. Why you mess with all these men? The thing is, if she's not happy, what a good age at 22 to say, no, I don't want to be with you. Let's move on.
Right.
Nope, you're not good. I'm going to move on to the next one.
This actually goes back to Lady D's topic from last week.
Yes.
What was it? Am I a slut?
Right.
You know, so I don't feel like she's a slut just because she's moved on. If the last relationship doesn't work, am I supposed to become a nun?
Right. No, not at all.
I think they look at it more over like Lori was once engaged. She was an engaged woman ready to be married, and then all of a sudden she's just out with some dude, and then out with the next dude, and out with the next dude. Like, it's one thing for you to be unhappy in your relationship and to end it and then move forward. But I think the world's issue was the fact that she was engaged, ready to be lawfully.
But did the nigga die?
Right.
It ain't like he died and she started dating another nigga the next day. Really.
It's just like you live you young, you live your best life. You're gonna do what you do. That's no problem. But when you're doing it in that fashion, like city girl summertime fashion, hot girl summertime fashion, which is cool for the most part, but you low key making us look.
No, she not. Is it because she's doing it fast?
She did it
really fast. But the thing is, some of the men that she was linked up, Trey Songz, Future, Meek Mills, I got the whole list. But a lot of these men, were having, sex with other women. getting other people
and in
pregnant.
relationships with other women as well.
Are horrible. So for her to say, no, you're not for me, let me move on, that's her right to do that. There's nothing wrong
I'm
with
not
it.
saying there's anything wrong with the way. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with her moving on or the way that she moved on. It's just the way, like,
The people see it.
Right.
It's not. It's just how the way people are feeling. People are feeling like this is just too fast. Like you were just ready to be married.
I do have
like,
something though. It's only women that's doing it. That's saying it though.
Yeah,
It's women, not men. Men ain't even tripping
because women get talked about.
Women, it's women that's doing
The
it.
women trip because the women get talked about. Men don't get shamed for that. Like men don't just be like engaged one day and then move on. Like dudes,
wives die and they remarried a month later.
I'm hearing an underlying assumption here.
Right.
What's
because the hell she's seeing out with different men don't mean she's sleeping with all these dudes.
Exactly.
There we go.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like,
A date is a freaking date. I don't give a dang who it is.
I don't even think
Especially if you're a celebrity, just because you go out on a date with them, they got paparazzi pictures, and all of a sudden y'all booed up.
People make me sick. Don't write my freaking story. Don't be writing no ending to my story just because you see me with somebody, you making all these
I
assumptions.
don't even think she dating Diddy though, to be honest, because she was just dating his sons. I don't think she that cold. I think
If she said that she wasn't
if
dating
it's over,
him,
it's over.
right?
She did say she wasn't dating
She
him,
wasn't
and
dating
so
him.
now she dating.
And now she's dating Diddy.
Yeah,
Isn't that a huge gap? 49,
Well, they got
22.
kids her
They got
age.
kids.
Yes, kids
She was
older
all
than
in the
her.
family. But how? I mean, what would you think the dad would feel like? We hanging around, we doing family functions, then all of a sudden you looking at my daughter, meaning they have been together for a long time. Meaning, she just turned 22.
You can't help who you like.
Did you just end me?
You can't freaking help who you like.
I gotta put her on blast for a second.
Go blast me. I don't
Hold
care.
tight.
I
Did you
can
just
handle it.
end me about the age thing?
49
when
to
we just had to
22?
pull teeth to get you to date a certain age range.
Well, but that's me.
Oh.
It doesn't mean that it's wrong.
No.
That's just my personal preference.
Nah, he need to sit his ass
And
down.
I'm not going to go
seriously.
too much younger, but that's just me.
Okay.
But if
He
somebody's
too
in that
old.
position
Can
to
we
choose
play
to do
pre-Ricky
it,
Asian at the better number?
He
well,
too
she's
old.
legal.
Because
too
So would you
old.
date a 25-year-old?
No.
Because he's
Why?
60 and she's 22.
But that's my preference.
he's 60.
Women, there are a lot of women who love like older guys.
We're talking. We're just talking.
Now he's too old. He need to leave her alone. If
That's
he
your
was considered a
personal
family,
opinion.
nah,
Asian at the
he
better
shouldn't
number.
have been there.
Honestly, I feel like if the man looking good in hand, looking and walking like he's 16.
Right,
I'm
thank you.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and throw my eggs in the basket. Give him on
That
Throw my eggs in the
is
basket.
my time. This is your girl, Lala with EMissy K. Loose Lip Show. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And like I always say, we have this incredible group that we are all in, except for her because she's young.
You're nasty.
We talk nasty. Like, it's really good, but it's informative. We learned so much. From your toes to your head.
Well,
to
then
your
maybe
head
she
to
needs
your
to be in
toes.
there.
You know what? Maybe. And up next, the beautiful Lady D with lifestyles according to, she always say me, but it's according to Lady D's.
We're going to take this break, and I'm going to slap Haley into yesterday as she come in my house with Steve Harvey. Right? We'll be right back.
She got that cocaine, that sunshine. She got that blue magic, that cocaine and that sunshine. She got that blue magic, that cocaine and that sunshine.
You got it going on. You're my number one. Just wanna love you down until the morning come. You got that bar shit. You know I want it. I won't hesitate. Girl, I won't quit.
You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, say that. You got it, you got it, you got it, say that. You got it, you got it, you got it, say that. You got it, you got it, you got it, say that. No matter what I got going on, when you hit my phone, girl, I'll pick up. You a boss chick and you about your cash, and I know you're down, you never switch up. You an athlete in between the sheets, and I love the way that you work it. You can have my cars and take all my cash, cause I'm a fiend and baby, you worth it. I'm addicted to the way your lips taste, and I ain't talking about them lips that's on your face. You're like a dance hall when the way you make your body whine. When I taste your sugar walls, it gets me every time, cause we rockin' and rollin'. You throw it back and I'm stroking. It's something about you got me open, and I never get enough. You my blue magic shorty, you my cocaine. The way we put it down, I bet the neighbors know our names. You got that good, baby. I wanna beat it up. Come let me
me taste your body until I get enough. The way you bounce and grind it, you make my body feel. Girl, I just love to lay back and watch you do your thing. You got that good, good. You got that good, good, babe. You got that good, good. You got that good, good, babe. You got that good, good. You got that good, good, babe. You got that good, good. You got that good, good, babe.
Yo, baby girl bad like a Playboy model. Pussy so wet I gotta put on goggles. Deep sea dive to your ocean floor. When I swim to your spot, I'ma stroke it more. And your sex game is like raw crack. I'm a fiend for you, I need more of that. The way your hips move is a work of art. I go to war and the pussy need a purple heart. And I'm going off of that Henny in that purple cushion my lung. Girl, you know my favorite position. Come here, work me till I go numb. Baby girl, your head game lit like Vegas nights. And your pussy so sweet I had to taste it twice. Get the whipped cream, get the strawberries. I'ma make you cream and eat your strawberry till your juices drip. I catch every drop. Look, I got all night to lick every spot. Girl, you throw it back on me like you really got an attitude. I had a lot of chicks, ain't none as bad as you. You been the baddest since day one. Your pussy like an 800 credit score, A1. You really got that snapback. And if we ever break up, I'ma always come back.
You got that good, good, baby. I wanna beat it up. Come let me taste your body until I get enough. The way you bounce and grind it, you make my body feel. Girl, I just love to lay back and watch you do your thing. You got that good, good. You got that good, good, babe. You got that good, good. You got that good, good, babe. You got that good.
Welcome back to the EMissy K's Loose Lift Show. That was my boy GS.
Nice, I love
and
that.
Red Cup Reggie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
that good.
You guys like that? Let me see those hearts in the group.
Yes.
All right, so we are back with Lady D's and Lifestyle According To, and we've been joined by Mr. Morningside 5, Corey Sappho. How you doing?
I'm all right. How y'all ladies doing?
We're good.
All right.
You ready to interact
He's so
with us?
serious.
Right, you got to loosen up now.
He said that
That's
this
just
week,
me,
too.
though. I'm just
okay.
laid back. No, I'm just laid back. Don't worry about it. That's just how I do
You
it.
good?
All
Okay,
right,
then
all
let's
right.
go.
Okay.
Lady D's.
Good evening, everyone. This is Lifestyle According to Lady D's, and tonight we're going to be discussing depression, the buzz killer for seniors. It appears that there's 1 in 20 individuals over 20. I mean, over 20. Yeah, right. Over 60 that are suffering with depression.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, a lot of them, and a lot of it is correctable. But it's all about how you look at your life, and there are many things that I can point to that I could say could probably justify some of it. You know, if you want to justify it.
Yeah.
But again, it's about what you decide to do with your life after you get older. You know, there are a lot of positive things about living to be a senior that are much better than even when we were younger.
Like the discounts?
This girl is freaking discount. I swear. Don't laugh at her. She is not funny.
AARP?
There's a lot of
Did you get those
benefits.
letters already?
Senior
Oh,
living.
I've been getting them since I was 50.
Talk about this one over
She
here.
got
Not
one.
yet.
She just won't tell me
I'm
about
on
it.
my way. I can't wait to get my discount.
But seriously though, there are a lot of things health wise that physiologically they can cause depression. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these things that we kind of work ourselves up into. You know, we think our lives are over. You know, the nest is empty for women.
Right.
The children are gone to college. The husband is either dead or moved on.
Yeah.
You know, and so they find themselves at home lonely and depressed.
I would find myself on an airplane once a month.
See, but that's because you would make a decision to live.
Exactly.
You know, because there are many options. You know, there are a lot of people that are so caught up in these animals. They care more about animals than do human beings. You know, fill your space with a dog or a cat. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but I say fill it with a man or a woman. I don't.
Right.
You
That's
know.
white people stuff. They like to do that. They like to treat their dogs like they're human beings.
They do.
Right.
Better
They
than
really
humans.
do.
Yeah, no offense to
they
the white people
better
out there in
than
America, but that's what they do. Though.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. And when you talk to them, it's like, wow, you talk like it's a human being.
Right.
When seriously, they're
Yeah. serious
about it. It's kind of scary. Like, when did we get to this point? We supposed to have dominion over these things and not the other way around. Like, dang, they're running them like crazy,
Facts.
right? And then we have the men who the major thing that caused them depression is that, you know, they don't feel like they have it anymore. I saw that with my father.
Right.
And when my father accidentally got my mom pregnant when she was in her late 40s, my dad was ecstatic because he felt like his life was over. He could no longer produce. He was just like useless, you know. So he had lived beyond his years. That's kind of how he felt. So I get it. You know, they're now dealing also with this ED, erectile.
Throw the whole man away.
Oh,
go ahead.
Don't start.
Slow down.
Erectile dysfunction. This one's so nasty over here.
Sorry.
But that is a big issue. I mean, now you see on TV, you know, they have all these commercials for men and they're trying to get the libido back. But for men that's over 40 or getting close to 50, they got to start working out. They got to start eating better. They got to start taking the vitamins. You know what I'm saying? They got to start cleansing the system because diabetes now is the next big thing.
Yes,
and
it
is. A lot of men and women are getting diabetes, and now you see all the commercials about being diabetic, and it's basically because all the pollutants that we put into our body. They always say that it comes from sugar, and it necessarily does not come from sugar. It could be a derivative of red meat, pork, and turkey, even turkey processed foods. So in the end of the day, you know, as a man, you have to start taking care of yourself. I just actually lost 2 friends of mine that dropped dead playing basketball because they didn't go to the hospital and get checked. So now that we're getting a little bit up there in age, you know, the outside might look okay, but the inside needs to be taken care of. And that's what, you know, the men are up against.
And that's all they care about is the outside.
They be all buff physicals.
You know, they be all buff and their girth to be so big, and that's where all the problems are going on in there because you got all this fat, this bad fat packed into your midsection. That stuff is dangerous. It is dangerous. You know, but you hit it on the head. It's like there are a lot of things that we are experiencing. We complain about our joints. We complain about the diabetes. We have so many people. I've never seen so many people in kidney failure.
Right.
All these things.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you see all the dialysis centers?
They are making buku bucks.
Yep.
Off these dialysis. DaVita is one of them. There's 2 of them that monopolize the healthcare system.
Crazy.
They're making crazy money. Crazy money. Right. It's up to us to change the way we do things. I'm hoping that the generation before me and before them will start to do some things a little differently. I love soul food. But you know what? I made a decision a long time ago that eating that stuff on a regular basis is not the business.
That's true.
You can still have soul food and cook it differently than the way we were raised eating it. Like, there was lard in the house when I grew up. There's no lard in my house and we still cook soul food. There are no hog mugs or, what's the other one, the hog mug. But I still make greens, you know, but it's not that.
Well, you can have it the way you used to have it. It's just that I don't even want to tell people moderation because they don't know what that means, and they still take it too dang far. But it's okay to treat yourself once or twice a year or something, you know. But we have to pig out on everything. We have to go overboard on everything, and that stuff is literally killing us. A lot of things that we complain about, we run to a doctor, we get a pill for every doggone thing, and there's so many of those things that can be taken care of just by changing your diet and exercising. As we get older, we've got to do other stuff in order to help us live. You know, you complain because you don't have anybody, but you don't have any energy for anybody. You don't have, you know, all that kind of stuff. You want to bring people into a toxic relationship, and it's just not going to work. You have to make a decision you want to live and do what it takes in order to do that. It's not a big deal. Can you not walk 30 minutes a day?
But living and being happy are 2 different things. They need to choose to be happy. You be happy, true. You're not depressed.
But if they make the decision to live, first of all, and start to do these things, the other will start to take place. Because once you start eating right and you start working out right, then you start to feel better. And the better you feel, the more you want to do because you realize that you are getting results. You know, stop pumping all that poison into your body. Almost everything you pump into your body from the doctor has side effects, but it's a money business.
But that's not the only reason why our seniors are depressed. They're depressed because they've lost their wives and, you know, their children and stuff like that. You have to make a decision to bring yourself out of that depression. You know, you have to find, like you said, live, but even if you got to go to therapy, whatever it is, you need to figure out a way to get out of that because it's unhealthy.
Well, mental health is a big thing. I mean, I think we have to look forward. You got to look at it this way. My dad is 70. You know, he's dealing with dementia. He can't remember things the way he used to. He's 70 years old, but they don't have any type of wellness or health place at older people can go, so when they do reach a certain age, they can understand the changes that their body going to take. Like, we didn't understand that when the sun goes down, some people with that type of disease, I don't want to really call it a disease, but that type of ailment, they get very aggressive at night.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
So I didn't even know what sundowners was until I had to look it up, and then someone else at my job was saying his mom and his dad went through the same thing. So again, there needs to be an emphasis on when people become elderly, how can we help them transition into the next phase of their life,
Right.
where when they do start to lose their memory. Because the biggest thing for my dad is he gets mad and angry because he cannot remember. He can't remember where he put his keys, where he put his wallet,
Right.
and that's a big issue. And then, as the kids, we have to kind of, the kids, we have to kind of take care of them
Right.
and watch
Responsible
over them,
for
be
'em.
responsible for them.
So let me ask you this: prior to him developing dementia, what was his lifestyle?
You know what? He wasn't a big eater, but I don't think he always ate correctly. You know what I'm saying? And then he wasn't someone who took vitamins on a regular basis. He did eat vegetables, but I mean, he was brought up by his mom, who lived to be 98, and she cooked soul food. She cooked things of that nature, but he's never been a healthy. I shouldn't say healthy eater. He was never a big eater. He didn't just fill himself up with food and become sick. But again, he didn't put the necessary things in his body to make him preserve his insides as he got older, I should say.
What did he do for
none of our
What did he do
elders
for
did.
mental stability?
I know that there's some mental clarity pills that you can take.
Not even just that. I mean, just like normal stuff, like simple as like going to some local social centers and hanging out with people where you can interact with people, reading, finding something to read.
Well, he's a minister. He was a minister, so he had to preach every Sunday. So his brain was working. It wasn't anything that where it lay dormant. But again, a lot of the health issues that we come in to problems with is simply because of what we put into our bodies.
It's poison.
You know what I'm saying? And I see people eating fast food all the time. I see people eating just things that are not helping the body at all. And now Miss Marilyn, I met her at this summer league that I coach at, the Drew Summer League, and she has a health and wellness center in Inglewood. I don't know the exact address. I just know how to get there. But it's downtown Inglewood. It's across from where that Bank of America and Chase Bank is. And she has a center there now where you can get all your herbs. You can get your bloat drink, cleanses out your system. She has 2 types of drinks for that. She has a massage place where you can relieve the stress because she has massage therapists there. So she has everything there in our community. Instead of us having to go to Beverly Hills for this, you can get it right in Inglewood. And it's a brand new facility.
Convenient.
You understand what I'm saying? So people need to start taking the initiative to go to those places so they
You
can
have
better
to make that
themselves.
decision. I mean, because we all are going to age. We can't help at age, but we can't control getting old.
Right.
That's true.
Getting old is a mindset and a lifestyle. It's like you have to take control of your life. It's surrounding yourself with nothing but a bunch of old people. You're going to get old. Not doing things, sitting around the house and just letting yourself go. You're going to get old. And once you get to a certain point, it's kind of hard to pull yourself out because. But that's what you need to do in order to help you to live. And if you have nobody that's strong enough to make you, encourage you on a regular basis to do this, it's pretty sad.
Some of them, as they get older, you can't make them do anything because they're so stuck
We know
in
that,
their
Lala.
ways.
We just said that.
But I want to touch on something Lala said. Y'all was talking about, the whole
Smart
P. Diddy
mouth.
situation. But if the older man is in his 40s or his 50s and he meets a nice, young, beautiful lady, that might keep him a little young, keep him on his toes.
No, it will. It definitely will.
True.
No. But wait a minute. It will keep him on his toes. But if that woman doesn't care nothing about your health, he will be gone just like, what's the other producer?
Okay, then they got to choose wisely.
Yeah, choose wisely. Because how many young girls is not going to keep you young?
No, I'm not saying to keep
Right.
you young, but I know if if I got an active young woman in my presence and she's working out, see, I stay in shape because I was an athlete, so I have no problem with that.
Right.
But I've met women that are younger than me that don't want to work out. The first thing I ask them, do you want to work out?
Right.
Do you work out? How do you eat? Because I'm not trying to have some boring, sluggish woman hanging out with me. If I feel like I'm preserving myself and carrying myself a certain way, you need to do that too.
Right.
I mean, because you're talking about the men with these midsections.
Yeah.
Women got issues too.
And
Yeah,
y'all
huge.
like to show it. I'm like,
That's a whole other subject right there.
we ain't trying to see all that.
Corey, that's a whole other subject.
Just saying, though. You can't be talking about the brothers. We got to
That's
talk about
nasty.
these.
That's
the next
nasty.
EMissy
That's way too much confidence.
Dressing appropriately when you're over 200
There
pounds.
it is. Let's talk about it. Please have me on the show for that one. I'll say some things.
Okay, my time is up. So I'm not going to run into you guys' time. But I just want my people to stop and think about what you're doing to yourself. Make a decision that you want to live. You want to live quality life.
Right.
You know, because that's important. I tell my kids, if I end up, you know, massive stroke or whatever, I don't want to be on no ventilator. That's not life. I don't want that. I don't want to live like that where somebody I have to depend on somebody to feed me, wipe my butt. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I'm just saying, so hopefully it's not too late for some of you, but if we're still breathing, there's hope. So get on the stick, get yourself up, get to moving, and make some decisions, you know, to live. And this has been
get on the stick.
Not that stick. But although that stick may help, that one will help, because that's another thing too. Because you need some extra activities in your life.
That's all I'm saying. It cuts off calories and okay, go.
You gotta sweat though. You gotta sweat though.
Gotta sweat.
All day.
I don't sweat, but I still don't have. Anyway. Anyway, this has been Lifestyle According to Lady D's. I'm not an expert, but this is the life that I live and have lived as far as I can remember. It's all about staying alive and well, healthy and relevant. You have to do that. But you can find me on Doris Jean Drew Facebook, Lady D's, LADDEEZ on Twitter and Instagram. We're going to take a break, and when we return, we're going to get lipped with Miss Haley B and our special guest. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you guys sure this is safe? I just gonna put these on, alright? And this is gonna be a real life woman, or what is this gonna be? I'm ready for it.
That I cannot break. I love for more just cause I could take it. See your face looking like damn. She a savage and she going in. I'm a fiend doing wild things. A Scorpio, natural born freak. And one night take me around the world. From LA to Botswana, I put one more. What I want is simple. Keep it going slow to up tempo. Make me lose it like I never had it. Till I'm tapping out like wrestling matches. Baby, don't stop. Not till I get enough. Not till I get enough. Not till I get enough of your love. Go on and on like a sex marathon. You do not call the shots. I tell you when to stop when I get enough. And not till I get enough. Not till I get enough. Focus on me, not you. I ain't tryna be rude. I'm just honest like true. You know I will return the pleasure. She could give you that flavor. Better than icy red light on a summer afternoon. Hang with your girl. All night. Let me see your stamina. Alright. Put it down till you put me to sleep. Sex with me is so amazing. Cause what I want is simple. Keep it going slow to up tempo. Make me lose it like I never had it. Till I'm tapping out like wrestling matches. Baby, don't stop. Not till I get enough. Not till I get enough. Not till I get enough of your love.
Welcome back to the EMissy K Lip Show. Yeah, these comments in this group on our live feed, I'm just saying. That was deep. Haley B.
You nasty.
Get lipped.
You're so nasty.
It wasn't me. That was somebody watching the show.
Y'all nasty.
Somebody watching the show repeated one of GS's lines from Good Good.
Welcome to Get Live with Haley Bell.
Okay.
Where the comments are nasty for some odd reason. Hi guys, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We're here with Corey. Corey, hi.
Hello.
And Darville, hi. How you doing?
I'm alright. How about yourself?
Sleepy, but I'm good. And EMissy K.
The woes of a first job.
You know what? I want to start school and work out at one point, and I can further complain. Leave me alone. Okay.
Do you, boo? On your own time.
You know what? Can we do this when we're not on air? Thank you. So, okay. Leave me alone. How are you guys doing today?
We're fine.
Good. Corey, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
I want to get into, our viewers don't really necessarily know who you guys are, generally. So I want to get into general questions such as, who are you, where are you from, what do you do? Can we start with Corey first?
I'm originally from Inglewood, California. Played basketball at Morningside High School. Won the state championship there. Had a documentary done on me and my teammates. ESPN 30 for 30, called the Morningside 5. We're currently work in the entertainment business. So
that's amazing. And then Darvell.
My name's Darvell Powell. I'm 38 years old, and basically, I'm a LA native. I come from Nixon Gardens, so I'm a hood boy. Made it out the hood. Have my own business.
Were you a hood boy or were you?
You know what? My mom whipped my ass too much to be running with the games. Nah, I mean, don't get it twisted. I could throw them down with the best of them, but my mama, no. So I kind of stepped away from the hood and, transferred to grandma's house, got a different upbringing. Ex-military, went to the Navy, served. Came home. Went through the trials and tribulations of being a young black man, trying to make it here in L.A., and I've been to prison. I got some time under my belt, business owner, own Secure Credit Solutions, and I've been self-employed, doing my own thing, helping us, realize our financial dreams and goals for the last 13 years.
I can talk to you.
We will get the contact information after the show. Corey, how did you transition from playing basketball and then all of a sudden you're doing the entertainment business? How did that transition go?
Basically came from overseas playing, and actually the ESPN 30 for 30 is the third installment of me and my teammates' life story. They did the first documentary when we were in high school, 12th grade. After we won the state championship my 11th grade year, Mike Tolan, Brian Robbins, two famous film directors, wanted to find an inner city school within LA that had a rich basketball tradition and document our last season and figure out, if we were going to repeat as champions. But it came down to like my school, Morningside, Crenshaw, Manual Arts, maybe even Bourbon Day. And they chose us because, of course, we had Byron Scott, Eldon Campbell, Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson. All those particular individuals attended my school, at different times. Me and Tina graduated together. Lisa, when I was a freshman at Morningside, Lisa Leslie was a senior. So, these are just great athletes that went to Morningside on the just dealing with basketball. So they decided to do that. They did the documentary in 1993, did another one in 2003. 2003 showed me and my four other starters trying to progress our career, going overseas, trying to get a shot at the NBA, things of that nature. And then after I stopped playing, I hooked up back with Mike and Brian. They did the movie Coach Carter. So, with Samuel Jackson. So that was my first introduction to the entertainment business, working on set, working for them. And then I just kind of kept myself around that atmosphere. And then I just basically applied at Sony Pictures for a position and was hired. And basically from there, my journey just continued. Worked at Sony for 5 years, worked over at Universal Pictures for 5 years, and then transferred over to Fox. So that was basically how it happened. It's just me sending out my resume, going after what I wanted to go for.
Great. That's great, actually. Darvell, my question to you is, you mentioned that you spent, time growing up in the hood and, spend time in jail. Has that affected you and you owning a business or any bigger challenges, besides that when it comes to you starting your own business at all?
Oh, hands down.
How so?
I remember my first time in county jail, and without going into details, it was a really drastic situation revolving a relationship, infidelity, me catching it on a fluke, and lover's quarrel. And when I was sitting in what is called CRDF, that's what's now the Women's County Jail Facility off the 105. An OG told me, he was like, man, from here on out, for the rest of your life, you're going to have a business. You're going to have to employ yourself. Ain't nobody ever going to hire you.
Right.
Don't believe that, you go to jail or serve your time, pay back the public trust, and, there's going to be redemption. Like, no, you will forever be labeled. And so from here on out, find something you love to do and make that work for you. I'll never forget that. He was a contractor from Louisiana.
Yeah.
He got caught up, unfortunately. And it really didn't make sense to me as to why he was there.
Right.
But hindsight is a mug. And when you look back on it, having experienced it yourself, his past is what got him in that situation. And that's the same perpetual cycle that 90% of us black men go through. Once you in that web, you can't go.
Right.
They're not going to let you go. You are the new cattle. You are the bastardized slaves of today's modern plantation called the United States of America.
Right.
This is a corporation. It is a business, and their business is to make money to manifest their destiny off the blood and backs of us.
Yes.
Right. Corey, would you like to comment on that? Or
Well, the reason I brought, Darvell here today is because I'm going through a different situation, being accused of something that I didn't do, trying to see my daughter. I got a 5-year-old daughter. I got a 13-year-old son that I've had full custody of since he was 7 years old, based on the fact that his mother at the time was not honoring the court order for me to have my visits.
Right.
So I had to take her to court, fight for my rights to see my son, and then the court said, you know what, we're going to do an in-home investigation to see which parent is living the best where this child should reside, because she's not following the order. See, as black men, stereotypically, we're looked at fathers that run away. Here I am running to the situation and getting all this backlash from the court, because the courts really don't care.
Right.
Family law attorneys really don't care. They just want to get paid. The first thing out of a family law attorney mouth is, this is what it's going to cost you for me to go to court. And it doesn't cost that much money to file paperwork so you can get your rights back as a father. But they always tell you to hire a lawyer because they feel like you represent yourself in court as a black man. 90% of the judges are white. I haven't had one black judge since my journey trying to fight for my children. So with that being said, the court in Orange County, where my son's mom resided at the time, and she's black, just so y'all know, because it's Orange County.
Yes.
There you go. So they got fed up, and they said, okay, we're going to do an in-home investigation. The woman that I had my daughter with was with me at the time and saw that whole process. She's doing the same thing that my son's mom did. So I got my son at 7. Now, fast forward, I was with this woman for 5 or 6 years. Relationship didn't work for whatever reason. Her mother runs a domestic violence center in Pasadena called Shepherd's Door. So you can see the leverage they already have.
Right.
I'm 6'8", 230 pounds. This woman's 5'2". All she has to do is come to court, let her voice crack, and the judge is going to say, oh, she's so afraid of this black man.
Right.
I've never laid hands on this woman. I don't have a record of laying hands on this woman. There is no physical evidence of that being done, but I'm being lied upon like I'm this monster. She even went as far in her declaration one time to say, I chose a police station to exchange the child based on the fact of my past experience where if you have the police station, one parent doesn't show up, you can have a report written out. You can have a trail. you can have some type of paper trail. My daughter's mom has violated the order 75 times. She's never been thrown in jail for that. 75. I have the cards. These are examples of the cards right here that say she hasn't shown up. I got 75 of these.
Wow.
But the fact of the matter is the courts really don't care. Child support doesn't care.
Right.
You have a lot of men, Nas, Tyrese, Dennis Rodman was on TV for years crying because he wanted to see his daughter. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got black men doing that, all I can look, and this is a black woman, I don't care what race, creed, or color you are, you should not be withholding a child or alienating a child from the other parent because you don't get along with them.
I totally agree. And we're going to take a break on that note. And we're going to come back with this interview and back with Haley B. and I, and we're going to conclude our interview. We'll be right back.
The marathon is just about seeing long term, seeing a vision, understanding that nothing really worthwhile happens overnight, and just sticking to your script long enough to make something real happen. Laying a brick every day instead of trying to build a brick wall. Just lay a brick every day. Eventually you look up, you're going to have a brick wall.
It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. There ain't a second, minute, or hour that goes by without a thought of homies or loved ones on my mind. I dedicate this to hustlers everywhere. Be a man, I'm a man. Be a man with a plan. The marathon continues.
Around the city, am I looking at God's gift? I had to pause for a second, this is nonsense. The shooting had the whole city on defense. TMZ showing clips, damn, this is intense. Is that my nigga Young Nymph on the ground? What's happening? What's really going down? Southbound on the avenue, I'm about to frown. Looking at my nigga hustle, praying for his turnaround. But speaking on my nigga Nymph like he was past tense. At the marathon store, looking at this young prince. I wish I could've took a bullet for you, Young Nymph. On 3rd Avenue, fucking nigga on crib. How did the shooter get so close to Young Nymph? If the nigga was DP, fuck his gang, never shit. Bitch had to know it was a hit against Nymph. He lucky that the police called him fuck him.
Gangsters do what they wanna do. Busters do what they can. I'm a man, be a man. I'm a man with a plan. Some gangsters do what they wanna do. Busters do what they can. I'm a man, be a man. I'm a man with a plan. The marathon continues.
I'm back up in this bitch like a nigga never left. In a cage, tripping off the way Young Nipsey left. The young king had a plan, he was truly blessed. All money in you had to understand his intellect. Real as a cuz, I love the way the nigga bang the set. Much respect to you, Loke. In my eyes, you a vet. You stuck to the code. Another episode. Fresh out of jail, you on grind mode. Black Sam, I love the way you kept pushing, bro. Had your brothers back in the cut, nigga laying low. Crash shooter rolling by, peek the indigo. Fellas disperse, yeah, nigga, here we go. Death of a king, my manifesto. Neighborhood never showed love to the ghetto. Spoke politics like a pharaoh. Blood of a king, Nipsey Hussle was a
Gangsters
hero.
do what they wanna do. Busters do what they can. I'm a man, be a man. I'm a man with a plan. Some gangsters do what they wanna do. Busters do what they can. I'm a man, be a man. I'm a man with a plan. The marathon continues.
God, you gave us this young prince. Why did you take him back? With dirt on my fingertips, I'm on my hands and knees rubbing my crucifix. Can't believe you died by the hands of a lunatic. This is 33, homie, I'ma guarantee that the marathon
Welcome back to the EMissy K's Loose Lip Show. That was Big Dave, and it's
Yes.
a marathon paying homage to
Yes.
Nipsey Hussle.
His birthday's coming up in 2 weeks.
Whose birthday?
Nipsey's.
Oh, I thought you said yours. I'm like, Kevin, you already had a birthday.
My birthday is every day.
Whatever.
Let's go.
So we're back with Darvell and Corey, and we're talking about fathers' rights and getting just slammed in court.
Right.
So,
We use the term railroad.
railroad slammed. I have a if anybody who knows me knows that I take personal issue with these type of topics. That's why I told Corey that, I would totally welcome it, because I have a big problem with some of our African American women not doing their best to keep our families together, right. And allowing the court system to even do this to our men, right. Especially if you have a man who is trying to be a father to his kid, who's going back and forth to court. I know a guy who literally was in court most of his child's life, just trying to get visitations. And then he would get it, and then she would find some way to get it taken away again. That is some BS to me.
It was no longer a child. It was leverage. It
exactly.
had nothing to do with the kid.
And then you have people like Kevin Durant is going through... Garnett. Sorry, I just did that like all day today. Yes. Kevin Garnett is, going through his divorce, and the money that they're asking for is astronomical. It's crazy. It's like,
don't forget about my man Kenny Smith either. I don't want to cut
Kenny Smith. No, go ahead.
Same thing, Kenny Smith. It's a number of athletes that go through this, and it's ridiculous because even though these women say, well, I'm used to a certain lifestyle, well, the kid isn't. I mean,
exactly.
DJ Khaled is probably the only father that I see doing lavish gifts on his son like that, because he can afford he can afford to do it.
Yes.
It doesn't cost $100,000 to take care of a kid. Right. That's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, these court systems are corrupt. These lawyers are corrupt. And like I said, even with my situation, she had to file all these supposedly harassment charges. The reason why she filed in Pasadena is because they're known in Pasadena. They have a domestic violence center there. Her and her mom run the domestic violence center. They go on YouTube and make these videos, and she claims that she's been abusing the relationship. So let's be clear. She hasn't just done this to me. She has a total of 4 kids.
Oh, she got track history.
She has 3 by 2 other men. One of the guys I didn't even know was in prison, so I thought they were all from one person. The lying started then. So now you go to court.
What my mama would say is, did you totally ignore those 3 red flags?
No, it wasn't a red flag. So let me be honest. I used to not talk to women with kids. To be honest, I didn't. But I was like, okay, she seemed like she got it together. She seemed like she got her head on. She's a businesswoman. She had her own bookkeeping little business. She had things going. But the lies, though. See, when a person lies, it kind of reminds me of that movie Now where those 5 young men were accused of raping that white woman. I compare her and her mom to the white prosecutor now because that's what they're doing. That's what she's doing to me. Like even in this declaration here, she says that I attacked her at the police station. Now, how stupid would I have to be to attack somebody, argue with somebody in the police station when, again, 6'8", 230, she claimed that the police had to pull guns on me and calm me down. Now, that was what she wrote in the declaration.
Wow.
But on this police card here, it says the visit never happened because I had already went to the police station waiting for my child. I haven't seen or spoken to my daughter in over a year.
Wow. So that's called preponderance of the evidence.
And you can expand on that.
Which is such shallow level of burden of proof that you could say it happened.
Right.
Or better yet, I give you the best example possible. That movie with Martin Lawrence, and y'all gonna take my black card for this one because I don't even remember.
Life. Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
There you go.
That one, Thin Line.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. She took the orange, beat herself with it,
right.
Called him over, called the cops, and what do you know? He has a record now.
Right.
He was arrested. No proof, no visual proof, no witnesses, no nothing. But because she did everything to set it up, they believed her tentatively until he exercises his, I believe it's the 7th and 14th due process of our legal system, adjudicate himself from that situation by proving she was just a bald-faced lie. He unfortunately is guilty until proven innocent, and that is what he is going through.
And not only that, I didn't mean to cut you off. So my situation in Pasadena, when they filed charges against me, you know what the charges were for?
What?
Me supposedly going on Instagram and posting pictures of my daughter saying I haven't seen my daughter and how terrible of a parent or how terrible of a black, I did say black woman because that's what I deal with, how terrible of a black woman she is for not letting me see my daughter. Because they claim I put at her name, Pasadena, which is one of the most racist cities in America, and I'll say it, I will never live there.
Yes, it is.
I will never go back there again. They arraigned me on charges, threw me in jail. And I had to bail out of jail. So Pasadena got $5,600 because they brought me up on so many charges. It totaled out to $56,000, so I had to pay 10% of that. So that's what Pasadena Police Department did. Not only that, they called my house at 11 o'clock at night trying to record me confessing to what she accused me of, which I did not do.
Wow.
So when I bailed out, I had to bail out of jail, and then I had to go back to court to try to get a court date to prove that all these things she said about me was not true. They had to drop all the charges once the city attorney saw that this was a custody case and a black man trying to see his child.
Right.
They treated me like an animal the whole time with all these preposterous false allegations that she made against me. So what they got me on was emails. I had to plead out to emails because when you have a situation where someone accuses you of something, they have a false domestic violence against you, you can't have any communication with them. The court said I could use talking parents.
Right.
She wouldn't use it. So she tricked me into using the email. They got me on the email and said, well, now you violated the order because of email.
Now catch this.
Wow.
Catch this. And this is what a lot of people don't understand about the restraining order. And this is just a very, very vivid and cruel example of the legal system and the wheels of justice turn very slowly. This is why with the actual emblem of Lady Justice, it's blind. She don't see nothing.
Right.
Okay, and that's intentional. But on a restraining order, and I'm not proud to say, but to be able to pass this knowledge on from my own experience, it's I love it. But on a restraining order, it says that the restrained individual, male or female, is to have no written, verbal, telephonic, or electronic communication. So as I explained to him, despite her baiting you in to do that by not going to talking parents, by not going to the police station, by actually contacting him initially, you did inevitably violate that restraining order.
Right.
However, a restraining order goes both ways. And she was not supposed to do that. He violates it. He violates his probation terms, whatever the case may be. She violates it. She's in contempt of a court order.
Right.
That is a crime punishable by 1 year up to 1 year in the county jail.
Right.
So again, it goes both ways. But in this particular situation, because he's the father that's seeking, she's the mother that's claiming she's been the victim of a violent crime.
Right.
They're going to tentatively, with the preponderance of the evidence, believe the mother and force him to fight himself, of course, at his financial ability.
I have a question, not to cut you off.
Yes.
Okay, at what point did it get to where you couldn't see your child? How old is she?
My child was 5 now, so the judge gave me, we shared a home together. So in order to get me out the home, she had to come up with a lie, and that's a false that's a restraining order. All you have to do is write, "I fear for my life."
That's it.
The sheriffs came and removed me and my son from the house.
Right.
I had visitation. She lived in Pasadena, where she still lives with her mom.
Right.
She would have to come to the Inglewood Police Station. The Inglewood Police Station is where they told me I could pick up my child. I had visitation from Friday to Sunday. No problem. Don't want nothing to do with the mother. Done with you. Wash my hands clean of you. She didn't want to do that, so they made it where we had to exchange the child downtown LA Police Station.
Right.
She complained about the distance. That's why they changed the location. Now she goes and writes this declaration saying that I supposedly attacked her verbally and all this other stuff. Right. So they're looking at it from this standpoint. She's writing this in a declaration. I haven't filed contempt against her. She must be right. So they took my rights away based on her false declaration. Not only that, they say her mother comes to court, because she brings her mother all the time. Oh, well, the child behavior has changed. We have a DCF case where he tells the daughter negative things about the mother. So Department of Child
Family
Services, probably no case exists. Right. So if somebody did an investigation, they would see it doesn't even exist. But they lied like that in court. Now they tell me I have to have a monitor to see my child. and I have to pay a monitor each hour to see my child.
So she doesn't want you to see the kid at all,
She
or is
wrote-
it about because what I'm
Control.
trying to
Control.
so listen, I know like about the control and how women are. I've had to deal with it on certain occasions, and it was one where if she couldn't have a man, then you're not going to have your kids, and I'm
Right.
gonna dangle them in front of you, or I'm gonna make these kids suffer in spite of you.
Right.
Money really wasn't an issue. Then you have another situation where she was just pissed off because he moved on with someone else.
Right.
He went Orange County, did everything he needed to do, got a judge and everything, and he was like, "No, I'm going to fight this." And now she's paying child support, and she did the same exact thing that the one your ex is trying to do to you.
Yeah.
I find that some men back down, and they
Right.
feel like if I be nice, or if I give her this on the side, or if I give her a little this, she'll stop. And my thing, I used to always say, no, go to court, do what you need to do ahead of time, because a lot of women don't just start acting a certain way. You see that in the beginning. And what I'm asking you is like, was it about the money?
What
Did
was
you
her
start?
No, she get child
Right.
support.
Yeah, so now it's like, okay,
she's
I
a
don't
bitter
want.
black woman. Let's just get to the point. Now I have to say black because that's what I deal with. If she's a white
it's
woman,
fine.
I say bitter white woman.
No, I just say women, period, because every woman that I know, I had the white woman, I had the black woman, I had the Indian woman, they all did the same thing. So
Right.
I wanted to know what was the motive. So it really doesn't matter if she was black.
Right.
What was it with you that she's like, well, I'm going to bring you through the ring. I want more money, or you just ain't going to
she
never
didn't
see
ask
your
for money.
kid?
She wrote on her declaration that did not get passed by the court.
Mm-hmm.
No contact with the father. No contact with the father at all. That's what she wrote. But then she came to court and
But
said,
why? Why? In other words, Lala was asking, why is she so angry?
Like, what led up to it?
But again, how am I supposed to know that? There's nothing I've done to her. You have to show me a report of what I physically or mentally have done to you as a woman. See, the first thing somebody at my job asked me when I told them the situation, what did you do? We got to stop that.
Well, not necessarily due to her like that. What led up to her
was her
saying,
motive,
I
yeah.
don't want you ever to see this child. Because there are reasons where there is no reason at all. That's what I'm saying.
But there is no reason. See, you got to check my record. You got to check my pedigree. My dad's a minister.
Okay.
I ain't never been to jail besides the time that they threw me in jail in Pasadena.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
at the end of the day, that's a mental thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was a woman and I still thought I had it going on, I'm gonna tell you to take your child so I can have some freedom.
Oh, yes.
So now you trying
Right.
to jam me up.
Right.
So the fact that I don't speak to you,
Right.
the fact that I don't look at you, because as a black woman, I keep saying black because we trying to keep our race together.
Of course.
You disgust me right now
Okay.
because you're lying. See, I could deal
Definitely.
if I was doing anything wrong. If I was doing something wrong to the child, beating the child, neglecting the child, talking
Right.
down to the child. But now you up here lying. I have no respect
Right.
for liars
Right.
Right.
at all, especially in the court of law.
Right.
Because it's black men, as my man right here has said, we are looked down upon.
Definitely.
So
So what's your recourse at this point?
So I've given
This
him
brother.
I've given him a couple options.
Okay.
First and foremost, what he has to do is go back and establish her contempt of a court order.
Okay.
Regardless of any other pertinent details or residual effects, you have to establish that she was first in violation of this court order.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and again, as I explained to him, the court only is concerned with facts
Right.
that benefits them, their case, and to prove to the California taxpayer that they are upholding the public trust.
Right.
So we have to prove that A, she's in violation of the
Right.
court order. With 75 different accounts,
Right.
it's not
Right.
hard to do.
Right.
By doing that, you have to file for a court date. You have to wait the 45 to 90 days. Once you go to court, you then establish and show the proof, which he has that. If things need to be subpoenaed, such as this alleged assault on a police camera, that
Right.
needs to be subpoenaed. There will
Right.
be another court date, a Morrison hearing, which is usually for evidentiary hearing.
Right.
You show this and establish the factual basis of your contempt claim.
Right.
Once you've established this factual basis, then that puts the wheels into motion of alleviating her and her claims for the child custody.
Right.
Right.
Everything else is secondary to the court being shown that she's in violation of the judge's order.
Right.
Because that is the same burden that he is forced to deal with now.
Right.
He violated the court's restraining order of communication in one of those four
Right.
ways,
Right.
and this is the punishment. Well,
Right.
we established that she violated the court order these 75 different times. Well, then the court allows for her to be punished.
Right.
Now we have two parallel situations going on. That's one. The other one is something that I actually went through with my own grandmother for my daughter. And this one is the more aggressive. Everybody probably is going to be like, oh, well, you should never do that. But then you got to look at it from the man's perspective.
Okay.
Talk to him.
Give up your custodial rights to your child.
That seems extreme.
But why? Because I'm
not
not seeing
extreme
them now.
at all. Not extreme at all. And it's not what you think it is. Has nothing to do with whether I'm a caring parent. This has everything to do with a legality. If I was to give up or he was to give up his custodial rights to that child, that alleviates the frustration and the adjudication that he has to endure in order to see his child. And the sad part is, as long as she can invoke some type of law which supersedes and undermines the process, it'll be a continuous loop, which is how you said, or one of you said, that you've seen somebody in court for most of that child's life.
Right. Yeah.
So you take the power back. Give them what they want. Give her what she wants. Here, you can have this child. You ain't getting no more child support.
And they
you
don't
ain't
wanna do
getting
that.
nothing. Everything stops right there. So now I've taken control of that, and guess what? There's nothing you can do to stop me if I choose.
I hear that.
But
what nobody, what neither party is thinking about in that situation
Is the child?
is the mental mind state of that child. Because to that child, all they know is my father
Do
gave
you
up
think
his
that
rights.
mother gives a care?
She don't care.
about
Give a damn about her. We talking about now the dad. who's also fighting.
See, that's the double standard.
We're not
that you have
going
to
with
deal
that. That's a
with.
double standard.
That's
We're
the
not
double
going through
standard
that
you
no
have to
more.
deal
And I'm
with.
going to encourage more men to do that, not to talk over you.
Yeah, no, I got
Because-
you. But both parents created this child. Both parents are obligated to give a care about this child's mental health. And if one parent is so selfish that she overlooks the mental health of this child from the interaction with this child's father,
why not?
Then you blame that mama. Just
Right.
like I see.
I agree. I'm just saying that it's extreme.
It is
It
extreme.
is extreme, but that's what you pushing us to.
I mean, you got them going to court. You're lying
keep
on them.
doing
You
that.
got them going to jail. You're withholding this child from their father. You're alleging that this man hit you, and there's no physical or visual proof of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a little extreme just because you got an attitude with somebody you can't control.
That's right. So we're gonna have to end the show here, unfortunately. But
Juicy
you
topic.
guys have always right.
Very much so.
So, but you guys, you know how to get in touch with us. You got give them your social medias.
Oh, mine is 33_money_33. Well, just because my jump shot.
Yeah. Okay.
So none of y'all ladies hit me up for money.
Okay.
I'm already going through things.
Oh, they go to your IG. They gonna be hitting you up for money anyway, because you on there throwing it.
That was a prop because of the U.S. soccer women's team. That was a prop. That was all a joke.
All I'm saying
I'm telling my
all
business like that. I'm just
you
talking
just
about
got your IG.
Nah, but you talking about
I'm
they
just
was gonna
telling
check
you what
up
you
all the videos, you know what I mean? Wow.
And then mine is Instagram or Facebook, Darvell Lyric Powell, DarvellLaricPowell, or you can hit me at securecreditsolutions.com.
And we actually have that contact information.
Yes, as I said, I can be reached.
Right.
Not far. I'm in the hood.
All right. Well, we're reposting.
So
too,
anyway, thank you guys for tuning
Yes.
in to the EMissy K's Loose Lip Show. We thank you
Yes.
for always hanging out with us. And I guess there's still having technical difficulties. We got some conversations when these cameras go off. Oh, buddy.
Can I leave y'all with one thing?
One
One
thing.
thing. And this
Quickly.
is something I
'Cause we're
learned
done.
in my experience, especially going to prison behind that relationship. And that's, as black men, we have to take control. We have to be dominant in not only our personal but our professional lives, and we have to put our goddamn foots down and not care what anybody else thinks. Because at the end of the day, if we don't do what's best for us, who can we, depend on to do it?
Right.
Amen. Thank you guys for coming on, giving us your time. We appreciate you. And that's going to be our show.
Right, cool.
Thank you.
Take our picture.
We're out of here. 2 fingers in a biscuit.